always thought, like, I used to think a prenup sounded like a precursor to divorce. So, like, you're thinking, well, if I get a prenup, isn't that thinking that it might end? But it doesn't. It doesn't really work like that. It's not like that. It's just protecting your assets that you have going into the marriage. So anything you acquire during the marriage is going to be joint. But you're kind of saying, okay, I'm coming into this marriage with XYZ, and she has XYZ, so why don't we just keep our own stuff and then sort of merge our lives from here forward, which is what you're doing anyway with your vows.
Yeah.
So that's really what a prenup is about. And you're just protecting what you came with.
So a prenup isn't like guaranteeing. I feel like a lot of people, their perspective is it's like, okay, we're going to get a divorce in the future.
Exactly,
right?
and that's what everybody thinks. So it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you came with what you came with. She came with what she came with, or
houses, properties.
Exactly, bank account, like investment accounts. That maybe you had from when you were a child, stuff like that, and then whatever you gain together during the marriage is marital, which is truly the case anyway. So you can write it however you want, or have your attorney write it however you want, but that's generally the way it goes.
Okay.
So you're protecting your own interests, she's protecting her own interests, and then you're going to have joint interests going forward.
Right.
So, it's just it's kind of a nice way to start it. A lot of people nowadays are getting married and keeping their bank accounts separate anyway.
Yeah.
And sort of, it's kind of the new way. Like they're sort of just Venmoing each other money for bills and whatever. So it's really not a difference anyway.
Okay, so it's kind of like you separate where you are when you begin,
Mm-hmm.
and then after you marry, it kind of comes together more.
Exactly.
So how is it different if you get a prenup versus if you don't get a prenup and you have separate assets like a house or a business?
It's just kind of knowing that you have that, sort of, and it's also less ambiguity if, in the event something does happen. Which, God forbid, I mean, you hope nobody goes into a marriage thinking, oh yeah, we're going to get divorced. But if you do end up doing that, or something down the road happens, because there's no guarantee, then your assets are protected completely, which is nice. So you don't have to go through all that mess later. And so that's a benefit. The other thing is, so suppose you're in a situation where she owns a house, you own a business, and you decide, okay, let's rent that house out. Then the rental income, you can have it written however you want, the prenup. So should that house be rented, the income goes towards our mortgage together, or the income goes in an account for her alone, because it's her house. The purchase of, if that house should sell, she is to get that income alone, or whatever, the proceeds. And then any new house we are to purchase in the future becomes a marital asset.